find it in the strangest places, places you never knew it could be. Some find it in the face of their children. Some find it in...
We need parents who are effective, sound, and confident to lead this generation. Of course, we need children who are stable and progressive, but indeed we need those parents who can guide and offer that care to them. Today we have in studio with us from the National Parenting Support Commission, the CEO, Dr. Patrice Charles, with us. Hello, Dr. Charles.
Hi, how are you doing?
So nice to have you in
Thank
studio.
you for having me.
National Parenting Month, well, we're not on the National Parenting Month. In November, National Parenting Month. But for this team, National Parenting Support Commission, what is it?
Well, it's an agency under the Ministry of Education that was established solely to support parents and their needs. I guess the whole gist behind it is that the government realized that the quickest way to a better nation is through better parenting. And that's not something that you can go to the university for to study. So they established a commission. We have an act, we have a policy, we have board of directors. And this commission is really to investigate the parental needs of Jamaica and to ensure that we create that support that's needed to transform families.
And what's the findings so far?
Well, we did a situation assessment in 2013-14, and what we found was that there are 4 key elements that's really needed for effective parenting: nurturance, structure, recognition, and empowerment. And so we launched a national parenting campaign, effective parenting campaign, to promote these key elements and also to promote what parents need for themselves, like self-awareness, self-reliance, self-resources, in order to achieve those 4 elements. So we're promoting parental involvement along those 4 elements, the lines of those 4 elements. And we're doing this through radio, TV, billboards, workshops, community forums, and we're getting into schools. By March, we would have established 124 parent places in primary schools. And we're also training parent mentors in order for them to work with us in the communities and in the schools, just really to pull parents out and to identify the needs and concerns of communities.
Yes, and of course, since 2013, National Parenting Support Commission has a campaign going on, and for the first time in Clarendon, we are benefiting from that campaign, and on the 26th of February, we'll be having one such activity under that campaign, which is the community forum. Yes. What will that be about?
Yes, we're holding a community forum in Maypen at the old police station on February 26th, and it's going to really consist of 2 segments. And what we're going to concentrate on is effective parenting through divorce and separation. Now, it's a very current topic. And divorce and separation, unfortunately, is a very common thing in Jamaica right now. But we've never really looked on the effects on children, the real underground effects, and how parents can cope parent through the divorce and separation. So we're going to be providing those coping skills. We'll have our psychologists. We'll have a guidance counselor, someone from, of course, the church. The commission will be there, and some other key stakeholders, OCA, OCR. And really, we want to identify issues that parents are facing, why they can't co-parent successfully. There's going to be 2 segments. In the first segment, we're going to be speaking to the children. And we're going to be identifying those issues that children face when they're in a family that's going through a divorce or a separation.
That is so wise.
Yes, it's very important, because sometimes as parents, we don't really see it. We're arguing, we're making comments in front of our kids. Our kids are seeing us cry. Our kids are seeing us depressed, and we're not really realizing or recognizing the effects that is having on the kids. So we're going to hear from the children, and then we're going to use that segment to inform the parents. And in addition to answering those questions, how do I do that? How do I get past, the person in my ex's life now? And it's going to be fun. It's going to be open to questions. It's going to be hosted by Barry G, and it's also going to be a live broadcast also. So it's going to be this is our third community forum. We had one in St. Thomas and one in Halfway Tree in St. Andrew, but I think it's time to reach out to the communities in Clarendon now.
Okay. And of course, it will be at the old police station.
Yes.
And February 26th, Thursday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Why do you think incorporating the children would be effective?
Because parents need to understand what's really going on in their homes and how their lifestyle and their behavior, their actions affect the children.
And you've tried it before?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, I'm also a counseling psychologist by profession, and I specialize in marriage and family. And so I know for a fact how important it is to set aside personal feelings and really focus on the child. You know, being a parent is such a big responsibility that I don't even think we really realize how difficult it is to parent, and how completely unselfish we have to be. It is very hard to do, and it's very hard to parent through a divorce because somebody has to be the bigger person and set aside personal feelings. And that's not necessarily very easy to do, but it's something that can be done once you set aside your personal emotional feelings and really concentrate on the positive development of your children.
You mentioned something earlier that I found to be very interesting, because you said that you don't have to go to school to be taught how to be a parent.
Well, there's no school to teach you.
There's no school, so it's life, or because a lot of times, even for my mother now, would probably say, well, you know, I grew up this way, so this is the way I'm going to grow you. Is that a correct way of approaching situations?
Well,
because sometimes it really don't work out in a doctor job.
No, it really doesn't, which is why the commission is here. But, I mean, again, which is why it's so important to be an effective parent, because society teaches you how to behave, and if you don't have that guidance at home to show you which direction that you know, for you to go into to be a successful adult, then you're going to find those difficulties coming up. So yes, you can go to a university or a college to get a degree in effective parenting, but what we try to do is address different parenting concerns and help parents to look at their children based on their developmental stage, discipline them in that way, set up structures for them, homework structure, discipline structure, nurture, you know, instead of putting them down, nurture them, get more involved at school. It's your responsibility as a parent to develop a positive relationship with your teacher, your child's teacher, so that you can check on what's happening. Research has shown that parental involvement at school leads to a child's success at school. Yes, and you have less dropouts. So, I mean, it's really not a big secret. If we can get parents to open their eyes and to just give a little bit more effort, to get more involved. You know, I mean, I can speak personally. I believe that I'm a good mother. But I don't think that I was that involved as much because I work so much. I had to step back and look at my life and realize that my children, my son, my 14-year-old is now taller than me. When did that happen? You know, so I stopped. I slowed down a little bit in time to fill up that space with my children instead. So instead of planning work, or, you know, my children around work, I plan work around my children now. And I make time to go to school, to check in the books, to speak to the teachers, to speak to my kids' friends, you know, to find out really what is going on. It's important. There's no other way.
Yeah. On the point of children, like being exposed to a number of changes or phases that a parent might go through or parents might go through, sometimes it all depends on the age group, because if I am, say, between the age of 5 to probably 9-year-old, my mother would probably hide some stuff from me and not allow me to see her crying. But if I'm 16 to 18 or 19, mom will start to tell me what's happening. Is that healthy?
Well, let me tell you something. There is something called codependency, which is not a good thing, because what happens is that the parent, the adult, becomes dependent on the child as if that child is their friend. And so they start to tell them all of the relationship issues, why they're crying, why they're depressed, what they did, what the other person did to them. That's not good. This is not an adult friend that you have. This is your child. And those are issues that they don't need to be involved in. What they need to know is that mom and daddy loves you. Mom and daddy is here for you. We want the best for you. Unfortunately, we won't be together in a relationship. That will not affect how much we love and care for you. not you're ugly like your papa, and your mother is terrible, and your father is this, and your father don't give me no money for you. Yes, those are all unfortunate situations, but you don't need, that's not your child's fault, and they don't need to be brought into that. So there is actually a way that you can keep your children out. Now here's the thing, children see and know, and what you think that they don't understand, they see it. So you don't have to put the other person down. If they're not doing, they will see and know all on their own. What they will also see is that you are making an effort, and that you are trying, and that you will not be, you're not disrespectful about their father or their mother. You're not putting them down, and they will respect that effort. So you don't have to go out of your way to be disrespectful or have your children be disrespectful. And the other thing is to find some form of consistency in how you're going to relate to the child. So say you're divorced and your husband punishes your child. That punishment should be discussed with you, and if that child leaves his house and comes to yours, he should be the one to take them off the punishment. So the punishment should continue even in your house. You're grounded for a week, but you're only with me for 2 days. When you go home to mommy, you're still next 5 days. You understand? And then your child will realize that they can't pit one parent against the other. They're on the same page. And it's not a case where I want to go to daddy, and then you're going to be disrespectful because there's an open door at daddy for you to be disrespectful, or vice versa. So there are a lot of things that you can do to create a more positive environment in the negativity. Yes.
The third series in the Effective Parenting campaign will focus on effective parenting through divorce, separation, highlighting the following: answering the difficult questions, understanding what your child is going through, learning to protect your child from conflict, helping your child deal with separation and divorce, and handling co-parenting, among other things, maintaining the relationship, working with the step-parents and step-families. Now, Dr. Charles, the step-parenting thing and the step-families, trust me, that's another issue to touch on. It is not easy when somebody else, daddy gone, and then somebody else come in. Now, it's very hard for the child to welcome that person. I see parents have it hard to, sometimes they don't even want to introduce the other person to the child.
Yes, it's not easy, and how that introduction is done or is going to be done is something that parents need to really sit back and consider. And the step parent also has to understand that there's some things that they probably shouldn't do in the beginning, like take on the role of disciplining the child yet, until they really get integrated and blended into the family. Especially if they're going to be bringing in children into the family, and it's going to become a blended family, and the children see you feel that you're disciplining them harder or being more strict on them than you are on your own children, and that causes a lot of problems.
Or than how daddy did or mommy did. For care, that's not how daddy. No, I will not.
Right.
Worse if you're younger.
Yes, or if their parent now is a little bit easier on the new children. So it's something that the whole family should really sit down and talk about everybody's roles and responsibility. And the stepmother or stepfather should sit down with the other parent and say, listen, okay, we're together now, but right now, let me be the one to discipline. So, I mean, yes, you're not going to let them get away with something if you've seen them do something wrong, but for the major stuff, come talk to me about it so that we can both, or in other words, you both do it rather than you take it on your own.
Very, very beautiful campaign, and definitely. How are you getting persons out in Clarendon? What are some of the promotions?
Well, I mean, we're sending it out on air. We're going to be sending out flyers and town criers, working with SDC on the ground and the councils and the councillors on the ground to ensure that people really know about it. Working in the churches, working in the schools with the PTAs, and hopefully people really come out. We're in a very central location, so you come in from work, you can stop by and just,
2 p.m.
this is for,
to 6,
yes,
good timing.
and it's really for everyone. Whether you're working or you're not working, married or not married, maybe you know somebody that's going through a divorce or a separation, and you're seeing something going on with the kids and you want to come and get some info to go back. We're going to have our parenting stakeholders there also, CSJP, Unite for Change, OCA, OCR, CDA. So we'll have other individuals there also that you can get some relevant information or parenting information on also.
And they'll be able to ask questions and so forth.
Most definitely. We always, well, it's so open that you can ask questions right throughout.
Okay.
Once the panelist presents whatever it
Okay,
is that they want to
okay,
give in.
okay, beautiful. Again, it is a community forum here in Maypen at the old police station, and it is on Thursday, February 26th, between the hours of 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday, February 26th, you can't afford to miss it. It is being put on by the National Parenting Support Commission, and as we've heard from Dr. Charles, it will be very, very enlightening session. And for those who are going through divorce or whatever it is the situation, we need effective parents and in order to bring about effective children
Yes.
in society.
Better parenting, better nation.
Better
Simply put.
parenting, better nation. Thank you so much, Dr. Charles, for coming in.
Thank you for having
And thank you so much for joining us. So see you at that forum. It's the 26th of February at the old police station. 2 p.m. through to 6 p.m. Thank you so much.